Hi, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Craft Services with HedgieCleric. I am, of course, Renee, also known as HedgieCleric, and today I have a very special, very awesome crew with me. The creators and inspirations behind Goblins Grabbed My Dice.
Hello, I'm Matthew Webb. Nice to meet you. Matt Stormcrow on Twitch and Twitter and TikTok. And I am the writer and layout for Goblins Grab My Dice.
And next we have everyone's favorite Twitch darling, Ginger Mika. You're on mute, sweetheart. It happens once every
You
stream.
are way too nice. Hi guys, I'm Ginger Mika. I'm on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and all the things as at Ginger Mika. And I'm just happy to be here. I don't think I had much to contribute to this game except just being very weird, but I'm excited to be here.
Weirdness is a beautiful and much loved trait, so we are glad to have you here.
So, okay, she's giving herself far too little credit, but I'll tell the story later.
Yeah, she's part of the inspiration, so.
That's premium content. You have to watch for a few more minutes after intros to get that.
And
it'll take you like 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness. We've got people following left and right. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for all our new followers coming in. And actually, there's this very specific question coming in from the chat. Mika, are you still a cannibal?
How did this happen? And how am I getting the answer is it depends on the sauce, you know?
Got a good dipping sauce, and people is.
I'm not helping.
That's good eating.
What
really
fried green tomatoes bullshit is that?
You need to watch her streams more often. That's what that is, Matt.
Damn it. Matt was part of the stream where he was the reason.
Oh, that's right. He's the reason of it.
He knows. He did this to me.
I in no way told you
to think about it.
I in no way told you to do that. Your fate is your own.
All right. Next up, we have the wonderful, the amazingly talented, and I am fangirling a little bit right now because of his immense portfolio, Mr. Dan Smith. Welcome.
Don't make me blush. I only have a extensive portfolio because I'm so old.
And talented. Do not sell yourself short. I will not have people selling themselves short on this channel. And apparently I am also being, scolded on that too. I'm going to hide behind the gob cam now.
I've got quite a huge horn I can blow. I'm just not going to blow it here.
That's being said.
The Mage Tarot in Nominee, I think you're required by law to be in every 3rd edition GURPS book.
Yeah, I try to be. And in fact, I will sign and doodle in 4th edition if you missed me in those.
And last but most certainly not least, we have Rachel Lindman with us, who is also another contributing artist, who is actually going to be transforming into a goblin with us on stream today.
Yes. And you can find me at Super Rat Lord everywhere else. And you'll usually find me playing one-shots with Gehenna Gaming.
Fantastic. And Gehenna Gaming does great stuff. You'll probably actually find them on my recommended streams / auto host list. If they're not, I will fix that pretty much immediately.
Yeah, if you host with them, I'll be in the chat buggering Mark and Rick and just.
Did I need to put up a content warning on this stream now? Because it's.
Oh wait, that means something else. Oh shite. See, I'm also halfway inspiration too because I myself am living the trash goblin life.
Of course, and we would not have it any other way. Now, as most of you know who've been here before, you know that I have my second camera where I'm doing a craft project, usually while I'm on stream and talking with people. And this is meant to be kind of a Stitch and Bitch and creative space specifically for game designers as I talk about their various projects and artists and other creators. But this time, it's a gob cam. I literally have strapped that second camera specifically to this goblin that I actually made last year while my housemates and I were doing a Pathfinder campaign where we have 2 goblins, a gnome, and initially we had a hobgoblin. That housemate actually moved, but we have a new addition to the party who is a kobold. So it's all small creatures, and there's lots of chaos. I don't think there's a single uh, lawful or neutral alignment among us. I think we're all chaotic something, which is, of course, on brand if you're thinking about goblins.
Very
Speaking,
true.
yes, speaking of which, I think this is probably where I'm going to start turning things over specifically to Matt and Mika to talk about how this game came to be and where the inspiration came from, aside
Um,
from general goblin chaos.
I have a lot of friends who say people think that I'm normal, but I'm actually like a horrible goblin. And Mika's, I think, the queen of that. And it was the first time we got to hang out after people got vaccinated. And we were driving the car. I forget what we were doing. We were going to take care of your dog. And literally, we started talking about we should have a game that's just about being trash goblins. And one thing led to another. And just the entire like goblins want click clacks lifestyle said, well, it needs to be a game about goblins grabbing dice. Like they have to be stealing dice because those are obviously the greatest jewel of the goblin world. And so where else to do that but at a unnamed, generic, we swear, large gaming convention somewhere in the Midwest. I don't know what possibly you could model this off of.
Actually, there are several conventions that could be. You didn't really narrow it down. I'm sorry, Matt. You just didn't.
Fair.
Is it called Gem Con?
Unnamed.
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 I said Gem Con.
I mean, it's Gem Con for the goblins. Yes,
That's
we're
right.
coming for them.
Exactly.
Gem Con, Mid Giblin. There's a whole bunch of different options.
They obviously, raid the Desex dice booth and the Pale Wolf booth in the process and all these other things. So of course, it's called Gem Con.
And then, of course, there's also the Devious Chapeau group.
Exactly. Malevolent Chapeau.
Yes. Of course. But, yes. And, mid frosty days, as the chat has pointed out specifically.
Yeah. And, we basically, it's built, it is not a very serious game. It's 7 pages. The rules can be explained in about 5 seconds. And the entire thing is about you're stealing dice, and the more dice you get, the bigger your dice hoard becomes. And you can download it at drivethroughrpg.com. It's $4 is the recommended price, but it's pay what you want. If you don't want to download for free, that's great. And it's just all it is about is goblins invading Gen. There's no explanation for this, by the way. It refuses to explain where the goblins came from. They're just goblins. They're at Gen Con. You're either on board with this concept or not.
I mean, they came from the Goblin place, obviously.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's where the bus drop them off at.
Yeah.
The Goblin place, also known as the CCG room. I mean, sorry, did I say that out loud?
Ooh, salty. I
say this as somebody who has specifically played competitive CCGs for quite some time in my younger days. This is where I'm going to mildly adjust the gob cam in the hopes of actually screw it. It's already showing my floor. I don't care anymore. Yeah. There. Now you have my project bag in shot where the yarn is coming from. Nobody knows where the yarn comes from. It's the yarn place. Anyway.
A lot of people who read the game have drawn a very strong correlations with Cobbles Ate My Baby,
Yes.
and it very much has that energy.
For sure.
It's got a little bit of tune in there, a little bit of Mika turned me on to a game called Honey Heist.
Oh yes, Honey Heist is delightful.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful?
It really is.
The perfect blend of chaos and cuteness.
And of course, as I'm doing this, I'm completely losing count of the stitches that I'm doing right here for this itty bitty little gob hand. I'm
Are you
not
trying
kidding.
to keep count of stitches while you're hosting a stream?
Yes, I can do it. I promise.
You know, if the hand ends up a little bit big, the better to grab dice with.
That's absolutely fair. And also the
Rachel.
goblin in question that I'm making this to portray is a bard. So you know what they say about bards with big hands. Better to play the lute. So, Mika, so you were present for this conversation. I imagine you had a lot to add, and you were just playing a whole big old game of yes and during this whole bit.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I love so much about Matt is that, like, we're really good at yes and. It might go to a chaotic place, and there should probably be someone there to stop us eventually, but there's not. So we just keep running with things.
Oh, I understand this quite well. You see, I am in an Innomine game with Matt every other week.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I GM a V5 Sabat game that also has Matt as a player. And I understand the concept of yes and going completely off the rails in the best possible way. So, like,
Because Matt will never stop you. He'll just keep yes anding.
And being a pack mate with Matt,
is...
that is some wild shenanigans right there. Especially being a ductus, because I'm like, I'm gonna have to spank you at some point. I'm gonna take you over my knee and just stop it.
And yet it never happens because my ideas are the best ideas.
Oh, they are really good. Yeah, honestly, he suggested it, and we just talked about it back and forth during a car ride, and I was like, "You should absolutely do this," and he was like, "I'm absolutely going to." So yeah, that's it. It was mostly him. He had great ideas, and I was like, "That's amazing. Let's roll with this. This is great." So it was mostly him though. It was all Matt. He's just wonderful. He's got a big brain.
I think you're underscaling because you're like, no, you have to keep it simple. Like, I sometimes overthink things because I'm that guy.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
You were the inspiration behind Dice Jail and going Gobbo. That was based on your input.
You know what? The glitter goblin also seems very specific, Matthew. Do you want to explain that to me, sir?
Yeah, the trash goblin seems very specific, Matthew.
Now that I know
that what you're talking about.
Seems really specific, Matthew.
Yes, because as we pointed out in the chat before the stream started, Mika is a Leo. And if you read the text,
right, Matthew.
And the
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have an alibi. I was nowhere near Fifth Avenue at the time.
No, you were dead at the time. We get it.
Right. I don't know what happened in Dallas in 1960.
So you weren't referring to your friend that likes glitter and shiny shit and is also a Leo. Also, you know what I'm most mad about? The fact that I'm wearing a tiara right now, and I didn't even think about the implications of that. And I'm so mad about it.
Or the fact that Dan's illustration of the glitter goblin wears a tiara as well.
I'm so angry right now.
So I feel like I'm catching a lot of blame. But
why are you angry?
It feels like this might be self-inflicted.
What if you're right, but I'm mad about it?
That's literally my life, being right and people are mad at me about it. So I'm used to
that.
Go ahead.
Because of who I am as a person, I screwed this up initially, so I have to start all over again. Fortunately, I wasn't very far along, so, I messed up the stitch count before the stream even started. That just shows you where I'm going to be going today. It was such a small piece, though. I'm not super worried about it.
You know what? It's a journey.
It's absolutely a journey.
And we will take it with you.
Indeed.
We're here for you.
But to segue to the other guests on the stream, so
of course.
I wrote the initial set of rules, and I was thinking who could I get to illustrate this? And I reached out to Dan because we had been talking online for a while. And I got like a nominee art commissioned for him for my tabletop, amongst other things. And I bought some art off of him. And I was like, can you do this? And he like quick, like pencil sketched this big-eared goblin guzzling down soda in a t-shirt. And I'm like, you know exactly what this is about. Go
and I
for it.
believe the final version of that artwork actually features prominently in the actual type logo at the very top on the first page.
Yeah, in the top there, the goblin drinking logo is there. But also Rachel made 3 goblins in the trench coat, and there's a third artist named Otter Draws who's not here, who did one like literally just sketched something for somebody, and I asked them if I could put it in there, and they said yes.
That's fantastic.
Which is
That
specifically a goblin
wonderful.
biting through the bottom of a trash can.
Yeah. I mean, the amount I could help myself, like, I just saw the rule set and I was like, the amount I can help myself is none, and I drew, like, the trench coat gobs.
And I will admit, I like that art. Sometimes it also gives me nightmares. So it's cute, but also terrifying. Just like you.
It's on brand.
It's totally on brand.
The appropriate way of dealing with of playing Goblins Grab My Dice is to get the original Gremlins soundtrack, put it on loop, put the Gremlins rag on loop, and just imagine you're at Gen Con. That's all you need to know.
I mean, personally for me, the soundtrack for Go and Gabo, which is basically when you go all out, you don't really care if you're, if people discover you or what have you, and it's pure chaos. Like for me, the soundtrack to that is in fact Yakety Sax. But that's classic.
Yeah. Yakety Sax, yeah. Yeah, so in the rules, every single time you fail a roll, one of your dice goes into dice jail.
Yep.
But you can choose to go Gobbo, which is you just go completely just feral super goblin and run around. And all your dice that are in dice jail get jailbroken and are automatically successes. So that actually was inspired, but not a copy of a rule in Honey Heist, where if you make a criminal roll, you become more criminal, but have harder time doing bear stuff. And if you do bear stuff, you become more bear, but have a harder time doing criminal stuff. And this was but in that game encourages you to try to balance the two. While this game, you just get progressively more frustrated, and then chaos breaks out, because it's not about trying to balance things and remain cool and do a heist. It's about having having absolute like poor impulse control, and eventually just getting frustrated and eating Matthew Mercer's campaign notes and running out of the room.
They were delicious.
That did in fact happen in the very first game of Goblins Grab My Dice that I was in. And it was absolutely a delight. And actually that was only a couple of days before the stream. I decided that when Matt was initially talking about putting this together, I'm like, I need an excuse to have you on my stream because you're cool. So let's do this thing. You're making a thing. Let's talk about it. And then it got released about 2 days ago. It's actually done pretty well so far, as far as I can tell, especially when you're considering like an indie title with absolutely no marketing budget behind it.
It's got 100 downloads, which for a free 7-page title on Drive-Thru RPG in the first 3 days isn't bad.
It's definitely not bad. And so Matt was kind enough to set up a game for me, Rachel, and our friend Shannon, who is Girly Cakes in the chat, who's been, talking up a storm, and pretty much almost exclusively using 3 words or less She's almost speaking in in gob while she's there in the
Oh
chat,
my
which is
goodness. This is
fantastic.
the 3-word minimum when running into Matthew Mercer. Just
The 3-word
That leads to
maximum.
some great quotes. I
It
can't
really
remember the ones
does.
from the first playthrough, but I
oh
remember
no, like
laughing to
we
my
ran
stomach hurt.
into Matthew Mercer in our playthrough, and my goblin just was like, "I found God."
You're not wrong, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a clue in the stream. There's only 3 skills in the game. There's peopling, gobbing, and trench coat.
No. You have
And
to say
that's
them
it.
right. It's gobbin,
Gobbin,
peeplin,
sorry. Peopling, and
and then
trench coat.
Yeah. And trench
It's
coat has an
trench coat.
exclamation point. That's important.
Yeah, so it's trench coat. So trench coat is disguising yourself as a human. Peopling is I believe the actual description of the skill, it involves stringing more than 3 coherent words together, reading anything, and having ridiculously strong opinions about children's cartoon franchises. Those are peopling. But the rule for talking gob is you can only speak 3 words in a sentence, and you can only have 2 syllables per word, unless you make a peopling roll.
And that has led to some amazing results in games that I've heard of or personally run. I actually ran a game last night with my housemates and a guest we had over. The end results ended up with starting an edition war at the Strange Miniatures booth and clocking Matthew Mercer in the face with a pizza box and stealing his clothes.
Hot take, starting an edition war, not hard.
Not hard. Not hard at all. As a matter of fact, I believe it does have a reduced difficulty specifically written in the rules.
So the difficulty table for peopling, the second lowest difficulty is gatekeep and hobby, because it's not hard and no one's impressed.
Exactly.
That's amazing. I feel like you're trying to say something with that, Matt.
I might have opinions.
Of course
I feel like they might I feel like he might be right.
I feel like people should be told that more often.
I feel like, unfortunately, he's usually right, but we can't tell him that too often.
Yeah, that could result in
Yeah, his head will get too big and
he's
he'll
right
just
a
fall
lot
sideways.
of the time. But y'all, we gotta talk about that to each other.
Weren't you like 5 seconds ago complaining about being called out?
Why do you think I'm doing it back, my buddy?
Doing it back, right?
I want you to know, Matt, when I read that description to my friends, they were cry laughing and they were like, "Do you think he maybe means you?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up." Is it okay to cuss on your stream, Renee? Sorry, I did a bad.
Yeah, fair warning, the rules that I did give out to everybody before stream basically says everybody gets 1 F-bomb.
Okay, that was mine.
Any more than that, and there will be no donations made to various charities for each F-bomb that's dropped.
Okay, that was my one. I won't use any more.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I do specifically have $5 marked down because I broke that rule on my last stream.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no.
I did read the rules, and then my ADHD brain just info dumped all the information, which is sick.
Yeah.
And then I read it 3 more times, and it continued to info dump information.
Yeah, I try to write things down very, just because if I don't write them down, I will forget them, because I also have ADHD.
Yes.
Haha!
Yeah, absolutely. Writing things down is so helpful. Google Calendar is my saving grace. I would die without that.
Yeah.
So good.
I would, so I was going to read the rules, and then I realized that that you advocate for changing the rules if it results in more fun, so the rules don't matter, right?
You.
I
I
will stab you with this crochet hook web.
Matthew!
Are you going back on that?
Within reason.
Oh, okay. Do as you say. Do as you say, not as you do. Got it.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, that's fine.
I'm an
Yes,
internet
Mom.
personality. What did you expect?
Ow. Ow. Well done.
Fair though. Fair
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I noticed you're working on a fair bit of stuff over there, Matt, and that's part of the reason why you have the cameras as far away as you do. Are you in a place where you can talk about what you're working on?
Yes. I can show you. Let me walk over here. So I am a leather worker. I do leather carving. That is my other hobby besides trolling Mika. And I recently picked up this lovely book about the arts and crafts era of artistic leather.
Ooh,
And
very
I
nice.
discovered that this one particular artist, his name was Frederick Kranz, he did this entire series of arts and crafts book covers.
Very
And
nice.
yes, and I'm going to do a journal that is inspired by this entire series he did that involved insects.
Very cool.
This particular one has a whole bunch of Art Deco, like Art Nouveau style designs with a dragonfly, but because I'm goth, I'm going to do it as a death's head moth, the most metal
Of course.
of insects.
Uh-oh, we lost Amika. She'll be back.
Okay. And this is the starting point of that, is cutting it out. And this is the template I use for making the covers. So that is what I'm working on. And I'm almost ready with that.
Very cool. So while you're finishing up with that, let's actually move it over to Dan. Dan, you have an amazing portfolio, as previously mentioned, through various game lines, including Innomine, which is absolutely a favorite among folks here on the stream, um, and a bunch of different Steve Jackson games. Like, tell us kind of how you got started in the game industry, and really like how things have progressed since you've started.
Well, it all started when, okay, played games in high school.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, then girlfriend, had got me GURPS when it first came out. I really wanted it. She got it for me for Christmas.
Aw.
And because it was everything I really wanted in a game, because whenever you play the games, you swap across different genres, but you're learning new game systems. And I really, really disliked doing that. So once the GURPS happened, it was, one game system to rule them all. And one day, my wife, then girlfriend, asked me, she goes, "Why aren't you drawing for them?" And I didn't have an answer for that. So I sent some samples to Steve Jackson Games, and they sent me back. They sent back something that said, "Thanks, but no thanks."
Mm-hmm.
I doubled down, drew something better, sent them off to them, and go, we've got like 10 spots in our upcoming Ultratech book. You want to do them? I said, yes. So I do them. And when I get the complimentary copy, I go to my local game store and I go, "Look what I did." And they're like, "So?" And I went, "That was great."
That's fucking
So
rude.
that was
There's
great.
mine for the stream.
Yeah,
That deserved
So,
it.
but
that's rude.
the more I work with Steve Jackson Games and Steve Jackson specifically, um, the more he liked my stuff, and he would allow me to do what I wanted to do. And what was nice about that was it allowed me to be faster at what I did. Because when someone says to you, "I need the Battle of Normandy," I need the third day of it though. And at that point in time, I'm spending all my time on research and stuff like that. But if he says, "Here's a page, here's what the box looks like, you got to fill, do something." And because of that, I was able to learn how to work faster. I'll show you how fast I am. Since we've been sitting here, there's the Goblin map of a gaming convention I did. Okay,
Oh, that's
it's
great.
it's okay.
Oh, as a
That
fellow
is
artist, I am
that is
jealous of your
a
speed.
that is a a fantasy sort of landmass.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 different mini maps, or I don't know what I'm doing with them, but I'll do something with them.
Nice.
Now here's 3 more. There's one is a space one is a cyberpunk city, and then one is like a western town.
So what you're saying
You're
is that any other game designers or other folks who are following this stream and need artwork for something to hit you up.
Well, if I'm not already doing work for them, yeah, why not? I am really affordable for um the company that I keep, meaning that I'm not going to say the class I'm in, but being one of the most prolific artists in the 90s gaming role-playing game industry, um, my prices don't reflect my ego. So, because I know what it's like to be a game designer, I've actually hired artists to do stuff for me, and so I know what it takes. I know what it takes out of you, and um, I want to be the guy that will help you out to get the game you want in the eyes of your fan base. And so that's kind of who I am. I know that. I mean, Matthew will say something. Hey, I'm really interested in something like this, and all of a sudden I throw a pencil at him 2 minutes later, going something like this. So I try to make all the clients that I work for happy. And it's really about their being happy, not about the name at the bottom of the drawing. So
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah.
they really if they like my stuff, that's like a bonus for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be drawing anyway. I might
There
as
you
well draw for
go.
you.
And many
So
thanks to Darian Spider 44 for subscribing. Thank you so much. It's always great to see folks coming in who are,
Oh,
who are,
hey Joe, welcome, buddy.
oh, hey, oh, that's a friend of yours. Even better. See, this is why I
That's one of my
do
bestest friends.
this is why I do the stuff that I do. Thank you so much. But
Joe's a good dude.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. But
Being here, bud.
yeah, back to Dan. You're also a game designer in your own right, if memory serves. Yes.
yeah. As I was speaking before we got online with everybody else. My first game, which is kind of like my first baby, was a game about starting your own rock and roll band. It's called Battle of the Bands, and it's gone through 4 different editions
Very
since the
cool.
year 2000. Um, and then it was such a good game engine. I did a couple other games based upon it. One's called King of Crime, which we had a very low print run, and
Mm-hmm.
I still get people asking me, "Can I get that game?" I'm like, probably not, but I hope to put something on drive through soon that will be the King of Crime game. So it's a game where you start your own mob family in the 1930s,
That's
and
fantastic.
it is
That's so
they
cool.
are fun. It's a Time Life book as a game, basically what it is.
There
Um,
was a TSR game back in the day, but basically it
Gangbusters.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that
Yeah,
great.
no.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like such a good idea. I'm glad that someone did it justice. It
What's
sounds
cool?
like.
What I did with my game, because for me, if it's not correct, then it's not right, and it's not going to be fun. So my
Mm.
game, the expansions were all based upon the time period. So there's a Lovecraft expansion called HP Love Boat, and you can get um, Lovecraftian monsters into your gang.
I
There is
love
a
it.
War of the Worlds one based upon the Mercury Theater broadcast, so you can get Martians in the game.
Nice.
There is the whole kit and caboodle, which has the FBI. It has famous criminals of the day. You can have famous um, mob gangster bosses as your boss in your
Nice.
game. Things like that. And then there was a monster one based upon it was a zombie one based upon White Zombie, and never got funded because we didn't reach that point there. But because everyone was so great, I printed them out anyway, and everybody who got the game got those. So,
Of course.
um, but and
White
then
Zombie, the Bela Lugosi film, not the
exactly,
rock band. Okay.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
he wasn't born yet. So,
Fair. Fair.
and then I've made other games. I like card games mostly because of the limitations of a card. And I use that as an impetus to me to try to strive to do something more with two sides of a card, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of solo games. A more recent one was called the 5x7 Dungeon, where each card was a 5x7 card, and it was a game you could play by itself, the one card.
Mm-hmm.
And then any other card you got in the set, you could use the character off of that card to play an adventure off some other card. So you could
Oh,
create
cool.
a whole campaign utilizing these cards. If you have, I mean, if you're bored and you're by yourself, you can sit down and have I hope, an enjoyable time. I did it in a fantasy genre, and then I also did one in a post-apocalyptic genre.
Very
And
cool.
then, and right now I'm kind of throwing around an idea of a 8x11 dungeon, um, and I've been talking back and forth with the people who are my funders about what they would be interested in looking for, and what would float their boat. So working on that.
Do
That
you have like a
sounds like
Patreon or
phenomenal.
something?
I do have a Patreon, and the Patreon,
Fantastic.
my Patreon is all about not only just seeing stuff I put out there, but for also game designers and game masters. I do artwork, so you can see different characters you can create from for your game. But if you're also a game designer, a lot of the artwork I put on there is copyright free. So just by being a patron, if you like that piece of art, you have all the rights to go ahead and put it in your product as long as you give me credit for it.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
so and
Now
then
is
I
that
also do.
now is
Yes,
that
go ahead.
like standard Creative Commons or is that some other license?
It's a copyright free thing. It's you can anybody can use it. There's no there's not going to be any copyright holder on it per se. I mean, it's done by me, but I'm not going to ever come back and say, oh, you owe me for that, or someone else can't say to
Mm-hmm.
you, hey, that was in my game book, because this can be in everybody's game book. It's kind of like my
Mm-hmm.
idea. It's it's like what you can get on drive through. Many artists do their stock art stuff, and this is just my way of doing it. I have so much stuff, and I have no time to be able to go on a drive through and deal with all
That's
that right
fair.
now.
Content management is a bitch. Let's just be
It is.
real.
It is. Being the product and the salesman is really a hard thing. So,
Absolutely. I
um,
definitely
but
understand that.
I also make maps and battle maps, which are the ones that have the actual square sizes or hex sizes where you can put your game piece on, your miniature on, and utilize that as your tabletop uh, battleground. So
That's
I do
cool.
those as well, and those are also on Patreon. I am just now reformatting it for this new for June 1st. I'm changing the whole thing around. Although I have put up what it looks like now, what it's turning into being. There'll be much more content and a lower starting price, and then a special thing about it is, and Matthew might want to be interested in this. Uh, the levels of like $20 and $35 a month get those people a every month an illustration by me at a quarter page or a half page, right off the bat. So if
Mm-hmm.
if you're working on something and and you don't mind seeing a lot of free content or new content from me and all that, and also get an illustration from me at pretty much half price of what you'd normally pay for it, every month, it's I think it's kind of neat. I'd do it.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you just got another Patreon subscriber while we're sitting here because while you were talking, I went ahead and found it.
Oh, thanks.
Popped the link in the chat so everybody else can find it too,
Well, very
and
kind of
went
you.
ahead
Thank
and
you so much,
subscribed
Renee.
for $5 a month.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's very awesome.
Well, I like supporting the cool people who I have on here. I mean, that's part of the reason why I
And
actually.
me.
Renee, you're wonderful. Also, I'm pulling up your Patreon too.
Oh,
Renee, you're so great. Love you so much, sis. You're wonderful.
Well, that's part of the reason why I do what I do is because I have a lot of friends who are immensely creative people and they're just in the middle of so many different projects and sometimes they don't have the time they need specifically to promote themselves or they've been in the middle of doing a whole bunch of other things. And I'm like, you know what? Between my own game writing work and a whole bunch of other things, this is a really good opportunity for me to get people who I adore to come talk about the cool things that they're doing in a relaxed, fun environment, low pressure, and get other people's eyes on it and just support my friends. Like that's a big inspiration about what I do here.
And that's the wonderful thing about the future is that we have platforms that allow us to do things like that. So
Yes.
very awesome that you
Absolutely.
do this.
Also, Renee, you're just so good at that.
Shush. I'm gonna hide behind the gob
Never.
cam again.
No, you.
Hiding behind the gob cam. But and now we move on to the transformation happening over on the left side of your screen. We have Rachel.
Rachel, which goblin do you think you were the? Because you were probably.
I know I'm the trash goblin. Matt,
Okay,
I
I
know
didn't
I'm
want
the
to say it, but
because okay, so I game with Matt. We play video games, and I'm a dumbass. and
you're
Goddamn Giblin.
not a dumbass, Rachel. You kept us alive in Raft because you cooked for us. You're not.
That's
a
true.
dumbass.
I'm good at Raft, but you haven't played Project Zomboid with me, especially when I was first starting out, because like I had no idea what the rules and physics were, and this
Swing.
game doesn't give any room for mistakes. This is a game that punishes you for existing.
Oh,
And
That's
I
fair.
did a practice swing in our base, and I destroyed 2 trash cans in the process, and spilled garbage all over our base.
Oops.
Oops.
And that's why she is the goddamn Giblin.
A
I
trash
think
gibbon.
on our Discord,
was that your one, Matt? Was that
your
your
name
one?
is.
What?
What was that?
Wait, you didn't
I
say the
said
F
damn.
bomb though. That was the
I said
GD.
damn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the one. Okay, never mind. Carry on.
Damn is the little old lady tea room of cursing.
Well, but the G with the D is different for some people. You know?
Well, yeah. Like I'm not even religious, and I don't say that because I just feel like it's not meant for me.
No, you know what? Same, because I don't want to stress anyone else out.
I
Fair.
mean,
Also, why I feel bad that I accidentally just the F bomb is like second nature to me, and I'm like, why are we like this?
Honestly,
because I'm
same.
going specifically with MPAA ratings because that's what I can work with, and that is the easiest thing for me to communicate to other people.
Renee, I'll do it for you
Oh, bless.
because I love you. I won't do anything. I will be on my best behavior for you, BB. My best behavior.
There are always different substitutes like fudge, fiddlesticks.
I'm gonna say
Farfignugan.
frick. I'm gonna say frick because I love Scrubs, and that's what they said in Scrubs.
That's fair. That's absolutely
Frick.
fair. So
I realized I left. No, I
Is that
did
your
not leave
naked
it.
cat? Is that your naked cat?
Where? It
You,
shouldn't
Rachel?
be.
Is that your
Yeah,
naked cat, Rachel?
No, he should be off and behind closed doors. Because I don't allow him in the same room when I'm streaming. Because he's great, except he's loud.
I have a
believe we
corgi,
heard
so
the
I feel you.
yowls for attention earlier, but I think that might have been
He was
before we
very
got on
upset that
stream.
I have closed the door to.
Sometimes the door isn't enough to keep a pet. They can be.
This is absolutely true. For example, I do in fact have a ninja cat.
Do
Jinx.
you?
Ninja cat.
Oh,
Ninja
Jinx
cat.
is such a good name.
She is tiny and adorable. We call her the Void Elder for a reason. Oh, what is that? Let me see.
It's Rachel.
Oh, cool. Pull it back just a
Oh
little
my
bit.
god.
Wait, what?
Sewing, but
Oh, very cool. Oh, there we
Okay,
go. That's
first
I
of all,
missed it.
sir.
Show me the wide shot. I missed it.
I'll take a picture of it and just send it to you via
Okay.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Sir,
yeah,
how
and
dare
I
you leave this
I would
cat
definitely
alone
want to
without
see
even
that.
trying? You're so good, but you know what? I imagine it took you a lot of years to get that good.
Yeah. Lots
Just don't
of
think
time,
about the
lots of
crushing
experience.
college student loan.
Well,
Yeah,
I
the
just think that
crushing
like
student loan debt from an art degree. No, that's
I
not
just think that
from
a lot of people
anybody
with
we know.
artists. I feel like a lot of people with artists look at them and they're like, "You're so talented." It's like, no, I just worked for like a lot of years to get here.
Yeah, I went through a mental
That's
breakdown in
basically-
CCAD to get my like.
Yeah. So I feel like you guys definitely have some innate talent, but I don't ever want to say that because I don't want to discount your hard work because I know you guys work
Absolutely.
your butts
Yeah.
off.
A lot of creative
So-
endeavors are a combination of hard work and raw talent.
That's cultivated.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I
man,
love
the
that
pink's
I'm
not
on.
showing up. No.
I love that I'm a stream
No,
with
it's
like these
beautiful, baby. It's
talented
beautiful.
artists that can draw great things. And meanwhile, so those of you who aren't artists but want to fake it on TV, tracing. And if you want to, so the one thing I love about Art Nouveau and Art Deco is that just some basic drafting templates, and you too can appear talented.
Oh yeah. Mika, the audience is wondering where your tiara went.
Oh,
It got stolen by a trash goblin.
it's right here next to me. I can put it back on.
There we go.
My
And now
my
all is right with the
girlfriend
world.
just got this for me today, actually,
Oh,
because I didn't have
gorgeous.
a tiara and she thought I needed one. So
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, and
so cute.
I don't know if you can see this. It's absolutely beautiful, you guys. It's so look
It's
at this
gorgeous.
detail. It's so pink and so pretty. It's pink and gold. I'm
I
in
love
love
it.
with it.
Naturally, I have an
there's-
affinity for pink, so you know.
Me too, BB.
You see,
Yeah.
that's why I
Same.
thought I'm doing pink
Oh.
eyebrows just for you, and I'm also doing pink cheek swirlies.
Okay, and so we just got a call
Rachel,
from
why are
chat.
you so pretty all the
Channel
time?
points
Sorry.
have been redeemed for
Hydrate.
hydrate.
Oh, I have sparkly water, but that's it.
That works.
I've run out of
And
coffee.
apparently now we
It's just
also need to
spicy water.
stretch because I know I've been sitting here for a little while. Oh,
Stretch. Oh, that's a good one, chat.
stretch. Good one.
Oh, my arms are sore. Thank you for reminding me, chat.
Oh.
My arms are sore.
I think some of my vertebrae kind of ended up shifting about on that last one. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Would
Thank
I
you
definitely
like-
felt a crack.
Would you like to learn the best neck stretch you can do in the world?
No, because I'll
Yes.
probably hear a lot of poppies.
Yes.
Sure, why
You
not?
take your hand, you put it on one side of it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you listen to your elbow.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
And you hold that for like
Mm.
10 seconds.
Oh,
30
yeah, that's a
seconds if
good
you're
one.
brave.
Oh yeah, I have actually
Yeah,
done
then you
this
do
one
that.
in various yoga classes as well.
Yep.
Because in a lot of different creative professions,
Oh, that's
frequently
good.
when the
Mhm.
hyper focus hits, you're sitting in one position for a long period of time, and then when you wake up, when you try to move after that, it is literally like a statue trying to move because everything is just so
Yes.
stiff.
I know people who have migraines who learned how to do that stretch and
Mhm.
fix their migraines.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. Not 100%, but suddenly,
Mhm.
like, I have a migraine going on. They do that, and like, my migraine is like 99% less bad and goes away twice as fast.
The other day I was just trying to do like this stretch in front of Meg, and I did like this arm and it was fine. I did this arm and it made like a lot of very loud pops. I was like, first of all, shoulder, how dare you betray me in this manner?
Curse
Wait,
your
do you
inevitable
not-
betrayal.
Do you not like the popping sound? Because I actively search that out on the internet. I search for the cracks. You could
It
say I am a
concerns
crack
me.
addict.
Because like, is it supposed to do that? Is it supposed to do that?
Oh.
Is it supposed to do that?
Yeah, it's just a joint fart. Your joint is literally just moving like some of its fluids and just
Mhm.
snapping.
It
That's
sounds like a 1,000-year-old
fart.
human that's been moved for the first time.
so back
Like-
to so back to Rachel.
Yes.
What inspired you to become an artist?
Oh, that just happened. I just followed the serotonin there because, like, I've been drawing since age 4, and I started doing like little portraits and stuff at a very young age. And like originally, I wanted to go to college for special effects and stuff like that, but I was in a Saturday morning art class from CCAD, not the SMAC, but Art Explorers Post run through the Boy Scouts. And my professor there, Professor Tardino, he was like, no, you've got like a lot of talent. You should come to CCAD. And because this is a person I trusted a lot, I was just like, yeah, I'll go to CCAD and get my art degree. Don't go to CCAD because they give you, I mean, unless you are really about that life, because they will give you about as much work as MIT. And
So what exactly?
I can understand why most artists smoke.
So what exactly is CCAD? Like,
Columbus
what is it?
College of Art and Design.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, sorry, it's one of those big art schools. And people come in out of country to go to the school. So it's like one of the bigger art schools. And that's not to say I didn't like it. I loved it. I loved being able to do art every day. It's just the amount that you have to put out. Like, I would have something in the kiln and I would have something elsewhere, and I had projects drying everywhere, and I had things due the next day. So, like, college, but I did finally get back into art afterwards because I was just like, this is just something I love so much because it's just kind of a part of who I am as a person, and I've been doing it for so long. I need to doodle.
That makes a lot of sense. I imagine Dan can relate quite a bit.
Oh yeah, the need to doodle is strong in this one. I'll tell you that. I'll need to get your address, Rachel. So later on.
Later on,
Okay.
yeah, not
I'll-
in the middle of stream because we don't
Not
want
on
people
Yeah,
stream.
getting
you got
doxxed.
my
I don't
email.
need people knowing where I'm at.
No, just
I'll
email
send
me
it
your
to you.
address when you get a chance. Don't do it now because you're transforming.
Yes. And one of the things I do absolutely adore about you, Rachel, is the fact that your art doesn't just translate into, line art and drawing, but into a bunch of different media, including makeup, which you're doing right now.
Yeah. Which, oh no, the cheek swirlies, they're too
Speaking
open,
of
they're too
Rachel,
soft.
That's okay.
They're too soft.
Rachel, you can't do this live. You can't let the men know that we can shapeshift, or they will call the
They're
church.
going to call the church.
This is special effects makeup. It's supposed to be safe shifting. This is not this is not like this stuff. That's different. That is a completely different art form.
This is,
It's
you see,
amazing.
normally it's black magic, but this is like,
That's
Your
green
eyeliner
magic.
game is just
oh, this isn't even eyeliner. I just did like a powder for this because I'm planning to do little, oh, what are they called? Drawn on lashes underneath to make it like kind of cute.
oh. I'm
That's
gonna
adorable.
YouTube that for about an hour and a half tonight.
Oh my
so thank you for
goodness.
that.
So Matt's
I'm gonna
actually
YouTube that. That's
so Matt's
amazing.
going to be showing us some of the stuff that he's worked on so far. If you pull it in a little
Oh,
closer.
look, see Matt.
Yeah, it's going to be a Art Nouveau journal.
Oh,
that
it's
has-
beautiful.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna get to see how leather carving works.
Wait, Matt,
Nice.
who won the armor that I modeled?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a very cute picture of her in it.
As a matter
Please
of
share
fact,
with me. I want to see it.
I will post that picture on the HedgieCleric Facebook page and Instagram again.
Okay. I want to see it so bad.
In the next, after the stream is over here, because
Okay.
I ended up using that particular piece as a LARP costuming piece.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I was actually bidding on that while I was in between various flight transfers from going from one plane to another. Like I literally sat down. I'm like, okay, I need to do this. I'm bidding on this now.
I just
And then
can't tell you how much like something that I wore, you like, it just feels like, because I want to meet you. You seem so cool. Like,
yeah.
just it's cool. It's cool that a piece of clothing connects us a little bit already.
Oh yeah, no,
And
for sure.
that was, I believe, raised $250 for someone in need.
Oh,
no,
Yeah.
it raised more than that.
Was that?
It raised
Okay.
more than that. I believe it was actually more like 600.
I think she's
You're
right.
Yeah, that
It was the
right.
journal that raised $250.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I was doing the cheek thing to be a cute thing, but I look like I'm about to go, are you ready to play a game?
No.
I mean, there's nothing
Well,
wrong
you-
with that.
You need to say, how do you want to do this?
There's literally nothing wrong with that.
Want to play game?
Wanna play
No,
a game?
that's spoopy. That's so spoopy. Don't do that.
I
Spoopy.
exist in the land of I am cute, I am spoopy.
Yeah.
That is I don't want to look cute, I want to look vaguely threatening.
Honestly, I feel you. We vibe on the same level, Rachel. That's why I like you so much. But
Mhm.
you're slightly more trash goblin, and I'm slightly more glitter goblin. I suspect Matthew knows that.
I
I'm
suspect he
feeling there's
does.
a lot of aggressive energy from you about this
Rachel, do
because
topic.
you
she's a
feel
Leo.
called out, or is it just me, sis?
I
If
was
I'm trying, okay. Listen, if we're gonna say goblin stuff is calling out, there's an entire legion of gamers who I'm
Matthew?
calling out.
Okay, Matthew, look into my eyes and tell me that when you made the glitter goblin, you were not thinking of any friends that you already have. Look into my eyes
Listen,
and tell me
I
that.
am not entirely
Listen, how
comfortable
long
with
have
the
I
energy
played
we have in the
Vampire LARP
studio
and you think I
today.
can't look you in the eyes and lie to you?
And I know which one Rachel is too. We know, my dude.
Mhm.
And we're okay with it.
Okay, let's
Are
see
you
how
okay with
even we
it?
can get this.
Are you okay with it?
Honestly-
I'm getting kind of a not okay feel.
No, honestly, I just think
Oh
it's
my
so
goodness.
fucking funny. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That just hey, it just adds another $5 donation to the Trevor Project. No,
I'm
no complaints
literally
here.
gonna send you. I'm gonna send you $10 on. Wait, does it add money or does it take away money from a charity?
So it's adding. So basically anytime somebody accidentally goes over their limit, I go up until it hits 50.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
basically
Venmo you that.
so I wait until it hits 50 and then I make the donation, and then because I have a day job that has corporate matching, I use that specifically
This
to
is
get
me
corporate
doing
matching.
my best not to curse. I'm so sorry.
You can curse anything
I don't
except for
want
the
to.
F-bomb. Like, it's okay. Like,
That's my favorite one.
I know.
Stop.
It's one
I'm
of my
sorry.
favorites too.
I'm trying.
It's
I'm
one
really
of my favorite ones
trying.
too. I get it.
You know what? I'll just donate some money though, and it'll be fine. I can fix this.
Exactly. Well, and also, like I contribute to that too. And so like a lot of the
I don't want you to though. I'm the one that hecked up. Heck that
There
time.
you go.
Yes,
Yeah,
just,
there's a good one.
just-
So I'm gonna send it to you. I hecked up, and I'm gonna pay for it. And also, I just love charity is great anyway. So there you
yeah. I do like doing a lot of different charity things as they come up, as
go.
they
Which
make
one are
sense.
Which one are we donating to now?
So this one specifically is the Trevor Project.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say. I said heck.
Yes, you did. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta admit the F-bomb's my favorite word as well. So I'm just sitting
Rachel?
here. I'm good.
It's definitely one
I'm
of
a
our
good
favorites,
bean.
for sure.
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah,
Mhm.
I will heck up for the both of us.
Oh, thank you.
Well, there is
So-
supposed to be a stream where I have to make Renee giggity, and I have to make her out giggity Quagmire, and that's going to be the donation amount.
There you go. There you
can I-
go.
I'm just gonna be in the chat for that.
Do it. Absolutely. So, show of hands, who here on the call today on our stream has actually played Goblins Grab My Dice?
Nah.
Fix that.
You story told, Matthew, you ran it twice, bud. You did play
That
it.
still counts as playing.
Yeah,
if
you
you're the
played it. Raise your-
Godmaster-
I mean,
We're still
he was
playing.
the
Raise your
dumb. I
heckin'
mean, poor
hand.
sod.
Sorry, what were you saying, Rachel?
I said he's
Listen,
the
I'm
dumb
the
son of
only
a.
one
I mean,
besides
poor
Renee
sod that
that is armed.
got mastered.
So
Mhm.
I have a very tiny knife.
There you go.
Very tiny knife for
Yeah,
carving.
so I've had the distinct pleasure of being not only a player but also a Gobmaster, because I ended up running for my housemates last night.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The fact that I, as a GM, prefer simpler systems because that makes it easier for me to focus on the story and make sure that whatever folks are playing at the table, they're having a good time with it, right? And you'll notice I
Yeah.
put down my craft project because now I'm talking with my hands. So one of the things I absolutely love about this is I could literally pick it up, explain it in like 5 minutes tops, and everybody immediately got it, and then they ran with it. As a matter of fact, somebody that I literally had never met before was one of my players, and she picked it up pretty much right away. And I had a copy printed out, and I made sure she left the house with it before she went back on her drive this morning. But because I love sharing the love of goblins and craziness. And that's part of the reason why I paid a little bit more than the standard pay what you want price for it, because I knew I was going to give away a copy to somebody.
That's the way to do it.
Absolutely.
It's and it's meant to be an extremely casual game that you could take to a convention. And like I was talking with somebody, they said, okay, what's your definition of success for this project? And I hadn't really thought about it because it was just supposed to be a fun game. And I said, if I walked into a random gaming convention and there was one slot in the tabletop queue that had this running, and I walked into 2 conventions and that was true, I would be happy for the rest of my life with the effort I put into the game. That was
So
my terms of victory.
It's a really fun game. I will say, like, there's no way to be rules lawyery in this game. It's just for the vibes, you know?
I'm sure you could, but you wouldn't
the
even have to
vibes.
make a gob roll for it because it's not hard.
Yeah,
yeah,
right. Like, it's just, I think Matt is such a good Matt's been my storyteller for a while now, and I feel like Matt's really good at like yes and just Matt's really good at like the rule of cool. And I will say like that is probably one thing as a DM or storyteller, as a GM, to make this work. You just need to be vibing with the rule of cool, because this game is chaos and it's not meant to make sense. It's meant to be fun.
exactly.
And Matt's great at that.
Yeah, this
So
is definitely a
that's
game
the
you
only
can't
thing I have
take
to
too
say.
seriously. I will
Yeah, you
definitely
can't
say
take it.
that.
It's for the vibes, and it passes the vibe check, you guys. So
I fully agree with that sentiment.
it honestly, I don't know how many hours we played. It felt like 30 minutes, but I think it was a few hours.
Yeah,
Like
we
going on
play tested for a couple hours, and chaos erupted,
Mhm.
and
good
but-
chaos. We were
yeah.
3 goblins in a trench coat at one point.
Mhm.
Weren't
No.
we in a
no, it was in
Kigu?
a Karagumi.
Yeah, we were in a
Mhm.
We
Kiyurumi.
were in we were in a kigu.
That's
And
adorable.
Rachel got misidentified as a wandering 5-year-old and got thrown into the daycare.
I've been on the inside, man.
That
Changed
sounds
me.
about right.
She traumatized the daycare taker.
Yeah, because I kept asking the daycare, like, dice? And he's like, nah, it's a choking hazard, kid. So I came out and just started beating him. Choking hazard! Choking hazard!
Yeah. So let's see here. In the game that I ran last night, there was the Exy Biter Hall, where everybody kind of, started out. There was the basically immediately walking in and seeing demo tables, specifically dealing with my own personal experience with the Black Roadway game company, literally being right in front of the door that I usually come in when I go to Gen Con.
I miss Gen Con so much.
I've never been.
So they hit up the demo tables and were able to sufficiently fake their way through, sitting through somebody doing a demo. And then they went to the strange miniature booth where they started, to start a distraction, the glitter goblin, who is basically the face of the party, basically yelled out, "These rules suck!" And when everybody looked over in that direction, he successfully made the people enroll he was like, "Sorry, old edition." And several of the gamers present were like, yeah, that's fair.
And then several more were like,
that's where the edition war started, where they were able to, plow their way through $30,000 worth of minis. Specifically, you'd get to the dice on the other side.
Now, depending on the game company, $30,000 worth of minis might be like 2 stacks.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
I'm not making any accusations, but it's Games Workshop. Anyways.
Dang. Ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise, Matt Webb has chosen violence on the stream today.
We regularly choose violence. That is just, that's a love language.
Yes. Yeah. And Darian Spider 44 in the chat has made it very clear that, yes, you were in fact rescued from the daycare. The evil, terrible daycare.
Yes, Joe came and got us because I was stuck in there with a stinky, smelly human baby.
Yeah.
And it wanted to talk about Pokemon.
Which is cards, not dice, which is just unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, and this child has obviously got something wrong with it.
And now, because they're both done, high five!
Aww.
The 2 goblin arms. I'll probably end up working on the ears next.
I'm trying to decide what to do next. I think I should do the eyelashes, but
Probably. You've actually made a great deal of progress while you've been on stream, but then again, it's
I
been about an
mean,
hour, so I am unsurprised.
yeah, I mean, I can probably do this really quickly if I wanted to because I used to. Fun fact: I used to be a professional face painter at the Columbus Zoo.
That's actually really cool, and that's another way to kind of get your artistic juices out in a way that actually, gets you money.
You can also sneak past Homeland Security with it.
Okay, there's
Okay,
a story.
go on.
Yeah,
Continue.
so my now husband, we were late for training, and we didn't have our cell phones on us because this was at a time where it wasn't, you didn't have them on you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were running late for our job training as face painters at the zoo, and we pulled up to the zoo entrance, and there's all these people milling about, and usually when we do our training, park's empty. So we were like, okay, they're running a little bit late today. And so we go up to the first security gate, which usually there's only one. So this is strange, another strange thing. We walk up to the first security gate, all these people milling about in these yellow shirts, and we're like, we're sorry, we're face painters, we're late for our training. And they're like, oh yeah, go ahead. Get to the second gate of security, which is the main gate of the Columbus Zoo, and same thing, hey, we're face painters, we're late for our training. Oh yeah, go ahead. Third gate, which is on the inside, and we're like, wow, there's a lot of security. There must be somebody special here. And they waved us through again, and we get to the back tunnel, which leads to our job training, and it's been locked. We're like, oh no, they've locked us out. We can't. So we're going to the main security office, and the guy there is just dumbfounded. He's like, you guys shouldn't be here. You shouldn't even be in the park. Like, how did you get past 3 gates of Homeland Security? We're like, we told them we were face painters and then we were late for our training. And thus we got kicked out. Because apparently it was somebody high up in government that was there and we didn't know about it.
Oh,
didn't like face painters.
dear.
Yeah, and our bosses were like, yeah, we got kicked out like midday. We tried to contact you and we were like, yeah, our phones were dead, thanks.
Yay.
See, I would rather have that be the story about how Dick Cheney got turned into a tiger.
I have so many questions for later.
I'm not entirely sure that story is safe for stream.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
why I
believe
said
you.
for later.
Yeah, I believe you. But
Oh,
that
now
is that is absolutely crazy, and I'm not entirely sure where to go with that.
It's so cute.
Rachel.
Now to see if I can match the other side.
Rachel,
What?
you look amazing.
Adorable.
Thank you.
Rachel, why are you so cute?
Because I am a gosh dang trash
Who
can.
gave you the permission, the audacity to wake up and just be this cute?
I mean, I wake up every day and I just choose to have a warehouse full of audacity back there.
You know what?
That's
I
a way to
respect
live.
that.
That's
I
absolutely a
respect
way
that.
to live.
I respect that hustle. You're adorable. Your makeup looks great. Keep on keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So naturally, because of who we are as people, everybody on the stream here today is some flavor of gamer, because that is how
What?
we roll.
No. How would we attract gamers?
Wait, there's gamers here? I'm out.
Oh, I what is a gamer? I don't even know. What is a video?
A miserable pile of secrets. Let's be real.
Making
Thank you, Renee.
What
for
is
being
a
patient.
gamer but a miserable pile of rules arguments?
Renee, bless you for having both me and Matt on at the same time and being able to deal with our PS. Love you so much.
Yes, and as folks are seeing, I'm repping Exeter by Night, which is the TikTok Vampire the Masquerade LARP.
You have a water bottle for it?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do.
There's actually merch of a character I play, and that is wild.
Oh yeah,
to me.
absolutely.
How do I get that water bottle?
Jinx Adele in the chat can actually point you exactly where you can go for that.
Okay, I don't want to throw off your stream. I'll message you later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. Love you bunches.
Yes. So as you can
Carry
see, we
on,
got a
queen.
shit ton of nerds here.
You're wonderful.
Speaking of art on cool things, Dan, have you considered putting some of your artwork on like t-shirts or like water bottles or what have you? I'm sure the answer is yes, but I'm not sure if you have anything like that now.
I have in the past, um, and I don't. I mean, if people are interested in stuff for me, it's usually a personal nature, kind of like doing commissions and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
but I found that for me, dealing with, I mean, I still have T-shirts here for my Battle of the Bands and other things I've done before as well. Um, it's just that after a while, there's not enough smalls in the world to want to wear your shirts. So, um, yeah, I've gotten to the point in my life where um, the hustle's not as strong anymore. But
That's
it's
fair.
it's
That's
just one of those things
absolutely
that I do it because I like doing it,
fair.
and I try to keep the stress level down. Stress is one of the things that was my problem that we spoke about before, and so I try to reduce that as much as I possibly can. So um,
I
I do have
Hey,
a DeviantArt page where people can see samples of different things I've done, but I think some of them are downloadable, but that's kind of just not where I'm at this point anymore. So
that's fair. Um, I also imagine that when at the time you were doing it, there was a lot more. You basically had to have a lot more hands-on control with the actual product production process.
sure,
These days, there's a lot more kind of print on demand sort of things,
yes.
and so that might make things a little bit easier for folks. Is that something that you've considered, or you just don't care? Like, it's not caring is legit, but I think there might be a renewed interest in potentially having some merchandise with your art on it. As a matter of fact, there's there's a couple people in the chat who've expressed some interest in that as well.
Well, I sure. I don't know where to go with that, but I mean, if I have posters, I mean, I can sell them PDFs they can print out, or get
Mm-hmm.
posters made and all that. I mean, of all the different various levels of artwork styles and things that I've done,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hard to find. I have a DeviantArt page,
Mm-hmm.
I have a Facebook page, my Patreon. Just contact me and let me know what you're interested in. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Well, there we go.
You know,
Direct,
I don't
direct, direct from the
I
Smith
don't make it
himself.
easy, but I don't make it easy, but I'm trying not to make it hard either. I mean, I don't have a merchandising store where you can get coffee cups but I do have a cafe press thing that I've ignored for years, but I can always start that back up. I could do bottles and you know mouse pads and whatever. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I guess I personally don't see my art being on there and people want to buy it. So if they do want to do that, let me know and I will definitely make sure it happens for you. But
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I just at my house we have two pieces of art on the wall. We have a 1950s um, architectural illustration painting
Ooh,
of a nearby supermarket that's about 10 miles away from our house,
nice.
and I have a pinup piece of art that was done of my wife by Greg Theekson, the guy who used to ink Jack Kirby stuff
Oh,
back in the
cool.
90s. Okay, he did a pinup art of my
Oh,
wife of my
Kirby.
wife, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I don't have my art up on the wall. I just don't. I like my art, but I don't love my art. I'll let someone else do that.
Well, I
Yeah.
guarantee you there are plenty of people not only here on stream but also in the chat and elsewhere who absolutely love your art.
Seriously,
And I think it would be great to have more opportunities for it to be out in the world.
if
That's just
if
me.
someone if they contact me and say they're interested in it, I will definitely move mountains to make sure it happens for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I,
And
I I have to say, Dan, your magnum opus is the Innomine book.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're so humble to be so amazing. I'm
Yeah.
such a huge fan of you,
No,
and just
very
there
kind.
are there are there are those beautiful few times where you get to meet someone who you looked up to your entire life and they live up to that. So Thank you for that, sir. You're amazing.
Well,
And
thanks.
I'm gonna
your
give you.
humility is phenomenal. You're so talented. You give so many people so much hope and so much inspiration. And the fact that you are so humble, thanks for that. The world needs more people like you. And that's
Here.
You
so
have to get-
cool. So cool to have been able to experience today. I just feel so like honored to be here. Thanks for
Oh,
that.
thank you for that. To give you an idea, when I was younger, I got the ultimate slap down, and I wanted to make sure that if anybody ever came to me and had questions or had hopes and dreams, or that I would never be that person to do to me what they did to me. I want to be the person who says there is room for everybody, and I'm always that way.
Absolutely.
I will teach you anything I know because someone taught me, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to push the next person just that much higher than we are. That's the
Absolutely.
concept.
I
Absolutely.
agree. What theoretically what a human being should do with success is reach down and pull up their brothers and sisters, right? That's
Exactly.
what we
That
should
sounds
all
like
do.
MLM talk to me.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what we should all
called.
do. That's if we get a step ahead,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should just reach down and pull up, and
One of my
I feel
all-time
like, sir, I feel
favorite.
like you're doing that, and I think that's great.
One of my all-time favorite
Thank
quotes
you.
is from Harlan Ellison, and he says, "The weak shall inherit nothing but frustration and ignoble deaths. The duty of the strong is to help the weak become strong."
Okay, and that's funny how you brought that up because the person who gave me that smackdown was Harlan Ellison.
Well, at least you got it from the best.
I got it in his house. I was in his house.
Oh, ouch.
Oh.
And I showed him what I was there as a
Ouchie.
guest. I was there as a guest because he knew my uncle, and I got to tour his house. And I'm telling you, just the tour of his house was easily a 2-hour story here.
I
But I
believe
sat
it.
down and I showed him my stuff, looking at his Hugo Awards. I showed him my stuff, and he told me, he says, "You will never be an artist. You will never be a comic artist. You need to stop right now. Your stuff is shit." And blah blah blah. And I'm like 16 years old. I mean,
Ouch!
he
What
ripped
an
me.
asshole!
He ripped me so hard it took 2 truckloads to get me
What an
home.
asshole.
Okay, so I go home and I'm obviously in tears.
Mhm.
And I sat down and I finally realized. I said, "Fuck you, Harlan." And there's my F bomb.
There you go.
I said,
You got your one.
I got my one. I draw for me. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I'm going to keep doing what I do because I want to do it. And I truly believe
Amazing.
that's why he said it to me, because he wanted to separate the wheat from the chaff. He wanted to make sure that I would not go out into the world, and get destroyed by somebody who didn't care. I think he did it out of caring, but at that time, it did not feel that way. But
Sounds like
I
some
think you're
bullshit
right.
that Althea
Yeah,
would
I
pull.
mean,
I think you're right. But also just
Yeah.
the fact that you could overcome that is just such a testament to your character. Like that's just
Yeah, I don't think
That's-
I'd recover.
that is
Mhm.
hard to bounce back from. Not
Yeah,
not just
for sure.
not just criticism, like criticism in general. Criticism in general is hard to bounce back from. But when it comes from one of your heroes,
yeah, well,
I think a lot of it
Ouch.
comes from where it comes from, specifically where
And
the
you-
criticism has a little words. I can use them. I'm a
You
writer,
can
everybody.
English?
A lot of it comes down to where the criticism is coming from, and sometimes how it's delivered.
yeah.
And you know what? A lot of times it hurts at first, but then when it sets in, the hurt goes away, but the lesson stays. And you're
Yeah.
like, you know what? At first, I hated that I got this criticism. I did
Mhm.
not enjoy it when it happened. It was not a good time for me when it happened. But after I gave it a couple of days to set in,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got that because it can be a life-changing thing. If you can accept it in, when it comes, like, I think that's the thing people don't realize. People always assume criticism is going to be easy if it's meant well. But that's not
I'm
that's
a
not
big
how it
proponent.
goes.
I'm a
It's
big
gonna hurt.
proponent of don't be a dickhead to new artists. Like,
Yeah.
Don't be a
that's my
dickhead.
takeaway.
But
Don't be
even
a
when
dickhead.
criticism is meant well, it hurts. I think that's a
Oh,
thing
sure.
people don't realize. They think only bad criticism hurts. No, good criticism hurts too. For a minute, not
Mhm.
forever. It
Yeah.
goes away. You have to learn to write it out,
Mhm.
and it will be beneficial to you in the long run to suffer through that pain and get to
Mhm.
the point that they were making. You know what I mean?
And it's amazing
But
what you
it
can do with spite. Spite is an
oh,
excellent initial motivator. It really
Spite
is.
Spite has probably added 30 years to my life. I will live longer genuinely due to Spite.
If you want to know what you can do with spite, take a look at all of Harlan Ellison's career.
That's
That man
fair.
was fueled by spite.
Yeah. Well, someone did him dirt, and he never recovered from it. And I just think that's kind of the way he moved through life with that real thick shell that had a lot of spines on it. I think that was his modus operandi in getting through life. So
Well, he
I,
also got fired from Disney on his first day.
I had
Can
not
I-
heard
can
that
I-
story.
Is it really that hard to get fired from? Why did he get fired from
No.
Disney?
He got
My
fired
first
from
question.
Disney because he was making jokes in the cafeteria where he was making jokes in Goofy's voice about doing porn. And Roy Disney was sitting in the table next to him.
Oh.
I know,
And
I know
his desk was packed when he got back.
You know, it takes a certain set of balls to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suspect you didn't even know that Roy Disney was sitting there. Either way, as we
Am
all
I
know,
a terrible person, but I just think that's hilarious?
that is
Oh, we thought it
hilarious.
was hilarious too, but it's also why he would never sell a script to Disney.
Yeah.
Sure.
At the
Makes
same
a lot of
time,
sense.
we all know Goofy likes to yuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he had
But
backs.
apparently Roy doesn't think
He had
that's amusing.
So at least at one time he yucked.
Yes, he did.
He
That
yucked
was
up.
one of my F-bombs, right? I used
It doesn't count. No, you're fine. It's a yuck. It's not the F bomb.
There's no F at the beginning of that.
so gross. though.
So, but Harlan was ahead of his time. He made the Goofy yucks joke before anyone else did.
He absolutely
Oh my
did.
gosh! Wait,
Mhm.
what did you say? Can you? I'm sorry. Just one more time, please.
Goofy yucks.
I need one more time, Matthew, for my brain to process this. Can you just come at me one more time? That's not
Goofy yucks.
Matthew. It wasn't any better the second time. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. I understood it. I just didn't want to process it.
Jinxie
I
Doll
have
in
failed
the
at
chat.
flashes yet again.
Yeah.
Okay, just to explain to everybody why I'm so disturbed, do you know what my favorite video game is? Just guess. Guess what my favorite video game of all time is.
Kingdom Hearts.
That's why I'm disturbed right now, and I'm not ready for this. I can't. Goofy is just a teammate. I can't do this right now.
I was about to
Listen,
say, if
both
you would like a
Goofy and-
distraction, one, I just
Donald is
comment
useless.
If you
Donald is a teammate, but he's a useless teammate. He never heals me.
okay.
He only heals me
Okay.
after I heal myself.
All right.
Rude.
So here's a distraction from this. One, I have brought my hair down. You can see the pink in all
Your
its
hair's-
glory.
Your hair is so pink and pretty. I love
Two,
it.
Rachel, like a damn boss, just put her lashes on without even being phased, and even the chat is amazed at that
Rachel,
level
you
of
look
skill.
so good right now. Are you kidding me? The contouring. You look so good. Are you kidding me?
Please, Gobble.
You look so good, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
I haven't even done my eyeliner yet. I should do that.
Okay, you don't need to flex on us harder, Rachel. But if you want to, go ahead. Please do. Please.
I'm going to continue to flex. Enjoy.
You can
Oh, I
you
will.
can shut the hell up anytime you want.
No, don't tell her to
So-
shut up. I want to see her flex. I want to see the eyelashes.
Do you
Speaking of
really though?
flex,
Do you really?
Yes, I do
Man.
want to see her eyelashes because it'll be gorgeous. I want to see it.
I mean, the
But at
lashes
some
are already
level, you
on.
kind of
Oi!
Oh my god, those
Speaking-
eyes.
Speaking of flexing, Dan, what have you been working on?
Rachel, your eyes.
Good goblin.
You're adorable goblin.
Dan, what have you been working on?
What am I working on?
Yeah.
Mean now or
Now
Well,
and also, general project sort of things too. Yeah.
Literally at any time. We're just happy to hang out with you.
I'm working on about 4 different role-playing games and zines and stuff. I
Very
do a lot
cool.
of stuff with Matt. I do a lot of stuff
Fantastic.
with Levi Combs, and he does a lot of zines and stuff. I do a lot of stuff with Jim Wampler, who's got the Scientific Barbarian thing going. That's doing really well.
Ooh.
I'm working with John Schmidt. He's got a game that'll be coming up called Hard Rock Apocalypse, where it's a post-apocalyptic rock and roll role-playing game, which is really amazing, and it's really been squeezing some really nice artwork out of me. So that's nice.
Very cool.
I do stuff for me, and just every now and then someone hits me with a commission or two, and I really get to enjoy being in somebody else's world. And I like being able to say, in certain game um, company fan bases, if I do your artwork, it's considered official, so that's nice.
There you go. Yeah, no,
So
absolutely. I
and
know
I figured,
that in the day, some far off in the very far future, when I actually get around to designing my own game, I will probably be contacting you for art.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
So I'm gonna inflate your ego a bit, Dan.
Okay.
So I ran Innomine for many years as both a tabletop and as a LARP,
Mm.
and it was Derek Piercy did a really good job writing it as far as like building that world, but it was so useful to explain all the different, because there's archangels and demon princes in that game for people watching. It
Mhm.
was so great to basically say, okay, if you want to play this guy, one of these, if you want to work for this guy, this is your boss, right? And those profile pics for each of the archangels and stuff and the empresses were so communicative
Oh,
of
thank you.
what their deal was that it did so much of the work. And that has always been like, for me, that was the standard for what RPG art was for. It's kind of like someone was once talking to me about why musicals seem to have such great stories, and the reason is that you can put so much character development in a song you can't do in dialogue.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And Nominate made me realize that artwork can be the musical number of an RPG, and the fact that it just manages to capture the essence of it. There's a Nominee, there's Tim Bradstreet's work for Vampire, which is absolutely iconic.
Yes.
And all that stuff, it just cuts to the quick on this is what it's about. Or even the old TSR, like painting stuff way back in the day, right? But it was my experience with the Nominee that really cemented like this isn't just stuff to fill the pages. This was a tool for storytelling that I think that a lot of people, it's like the soundtrack of a movie, right?
Mhm.
If it's doing its job, you don't notice it. But it made me appreciate how quickly you can communicate information in a game with it. Anyways,
Absolutely.
I'm done fluffing your ego.
That's very,
Matt, you're
that's very
absolutely
kind of
right.
you.
Art like his just brings it to life for you.
It brings Haginti to life.
Haginti is so cute.
He's so cute.
Why did we never have a plush Haginti?
I mean, with the power of the internet, I'm sure we can make that happen.
I would
At the
sleep with a
same
plushie
time,
Haginti. Like, knowing full well that little Cuisinart would eat me, I would sleep with a Haginti plushie.
So Haginti is specifically the Archduke of Gluttony, correct?
Yeah, he's the
Yes.
Demon Prince of Gluttony, and he is drawn as this horrible little green monster, hairy monster with 4 legs, two little hands, and a circular mouth, and these little beady eyes, and he's adorable. He is so cute. He's just like, oh, you're just gonna eat my face off, aren't you, just little guy? He's like 3 feet tall.
All right,
Viewers
y'all.
will have to wait for TikTok.
We have been ordered to get in another stretch because we've been sitting here for a while.
Oh, you're right. We should stretch.
No, we actually specifically got a request. Oh, thank you, Gladriel Drakars, for making sure that we are all staying limber even as we sit here.
Yes, thank you. That's such a sweet request. I
Well,
love your
that's
chat
part of the
so
reason.
much.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why
So
I have
sweet.
those for channel points, specifically to make sure that because I will absolutely forget.
No, I
But
think this might
having
work.
other people go sitting there going,
Renee,
it's been a while.
you're just the sweetest being.
There we go. Looks complete.
There we
Oh,
go.
why are you so cute? You look so good. You
It looks so
kidding
good.
me?
Mm.
You look so good.
Now I need dice to steal.
And we've also
Oh,
been instructed to hydrate. And I'm pretty sure it's not just because Jinxie Doll wants to see the water bottle again.
I can't.
Speaking of
Jinxie
which,
Doll, you're wonderful.
Speaking of which,
So
Jinxie Doll, I know you're in the chat right now, so go ahead and drop a link into the store for this. Go ahead and share that link if you like. Ooh, very pretty.
Yeah, I
yeah,
want
It's
less.
coming out
this
lovely.
is all
I really
carved
like it.
out, and we're doing the cooling
Mm,
before we
that's
dye it.
beautiful. Do you know what color you want to dye that when you get done with it?
I think I'm just gonna go with like a classic kind of antique brown.
Okay.
To
I don't
very.
know. I feel like a black would be nice, like a really
Oh,
stressed
yeah.
black.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I have
agree.
so many black journals though, so I'm gonna do. I'm going to do it in brown, and then I'm gonna hit it with a black highlight. That's gonna
That would
make all
work.
this carving pop.
That
I
would
like that, I
absolutely
like that.
work.
Do the sexy thing.
But yeah.
Oh, the other sexy thing.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Whoa, hey now. I was
The-
about to
the other
say
thing on the leather.
there is in fact the Matna midriff TikTok around there somewhere specifically for mage characters we did at some point.
I haven't
But
made
you'll
it to
have
that
to go
TikTok,
digging
and I'm
for
okay
it.
with that.
You'll have to go digging for it to get that premium content.
No,
I
Matt's
will dig
family.
for it.
Matt's family, so like I'm good.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I'm
That's
good.
absolutely fair.
Matt's a friend and I'm a goblin. I will go searching for that content.
Nope.
You
Matt's
act like I
family
have an
now?
OnlyFans. I was wearing a red blazer and a T-shirt, and I just made a snarky comment.
I mean,
They said you were wearing
No
a
one
crop
wants
top.
to see this on OnlyFans.
Matthew, you can't
I
help it if
I
you're
I
disbelieve.
beg to differ.
Matthew, you can't help it if you're beautiful. That's not your choice,
Oh
buddy.
wait, I didn't highlight.
And just so
Oh,
everybody is aware, Mika is clearly showing her crafting talent right now, which is the art of the compliment, because she's so freaking good at it.
No, I really just mean it. I just really love my friends a lot. I
Oh
really
man, you
like
should
you
see
know
it when
what?
she's
friends.
tired.
Oh, that fun.
Rachel, how dare you expose me in this manner?
I mean, I will expose you. She gets to the point where she will compliment you and start crying afterwards. It's wonderful.
Oh, Muffin.
She's a bard who makes the roll.
I'm totally fine, and clearly COVID has had no effect on me. My mental health is 10 out of 10.
It's a nightmare.
So basically, Mika is a reverse bard.
How dare you attack me?
She gets really friendly with her. She immediately wants to be friends with everyone else.
I have a lot of loves as friend. I just
That's not a
Sometimes
reverse
I
bard.
have
That's
to
just a regular
charisma.
bard. Oh
I
wait, what
feel
kind of love?
sometimes I have good charisma and sometimes I don't. But I don't get to control when that's gonna happen. And it's stressful for me.
That's a mood. Not gonna lie.
It's the kind of charisma that won't bag you the dragon, but it will get you past con security.
There you go.
So right, yeah. That
Yeah, I mean, horny bard is so easy. If you're the bard that can get the dragon to talk about its feelings and really bond with a friendship, that's where it's at.
That's absolutely
where it's
fair.
at.
That
That's,
is
I'm
the kind of bard I
That's
I'm the
what pleasure
empathetic
is.
bard that would get just so emotionally invested in these creatures.
Sorry, you were saying, Dan?
That's where the treasure is.
The friendship we found along the way? Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, getting the feelings of the dragon out. That's where the treasure is.
You're
Aw.
right, Dan. Have you ever played D&D?
Little bit.
I would hope so.
Have you
Yeah.
really?
We should hope
played-
so.
I played first edition when the DMG had just come out.
Are you
Oh my
kidding
goodness.
me? That's
Oh, snap.
amazing.
We
Come
just got a
on.
whole
That's
bunch of
so
gift
cool.
subs.
Oh,
Oh
I've
my
done all
goodness.
everything you've done. I've done. So.
Yay.
You're
Oh
so
my
cool.
gosh.
Anything
I'm
you
just so
can
glad
do,
to
I can
see
do
you.
better.
All right. I can do older.
I don't know who that anonymous gifter is, but thank you so much. 5 gift subs in the channel. That's fantastic. I love it. Thank you. And everybody who's been throwing bits at it, like Little Bell 413, I caught you earlier. Girly Cakes, everybody who's been throwing in, it's fantastic. And yes, Darkman 119, who actually raided in here with a solo raid, tiny raid but powerful raid.
That's one of my mods. I love him. He's great.
Yes, and he has actually specifically said, Mika is the best at compliments. She even compliments me when I'm doing an awful job modding her. Yep.
How dare you, Darkman? You literally never do an awful job, my dude. You're one of my favorite people to hang out with. I'm just glad you're there every time. Man, you're so cool. Stop it. You never do an awful job. I will
Yeah,
physically
it's
fight
better
you.
than the auto mod, like the automated
Be
mods
nice
are.
to yourself, or I'll physically fight you, sir. Sorry.
How dare you insult my friend that way?
Yeah.
You insult my friend, I'll fight you, even though you are my friend.
Yeah, no, don't
goodness.
talk shit about my friend like that.
Darkman, don't talk shit about my friend like that. You're
There
really
you
cool,
go.
man.
But
Don't
yes,
make me fight you to defend you, because that's really confusing for me, man.
fantastic.
But I'll do it.
But yes, I'm
Also,
slowly
Amy
making my
says
way
she's
on
gonna shake
a
you.
goblin ear.
Wait, how's the? So I
Wait.
don't have the second cam, unfortunately, so
Can
I
I see
can't
your-
see what you're. Yeah, can I see it?
Can I see your gobble ears?
It's in progress.
How did you do? How did you do?
With crochet and
It's
black
crochet.
magic.
You crocheted
Yeah.
that? Are you heckin'
Yes.
kidding me?
So
just like
Renee, I
crocheted
had
this.
the ears.
You crocheted that whole thing?
Yep. And my housemate made the little tunic for it because it's made out of a fabric that sheds everywhere. Like I literally have purple fluff on my keyboard right now. It's kind of gross.
Amazing.
But yes.
That's really good.
But yes, that's why we have the gob cam. Normally I have it rigged up out of frame, but I wanted to make sure that the gob was in frame specifically. So we can so everybody can see the gob. Because
Super cute. Super cute.
Crumbs, I should have brought my nod journal in here. I wasn't expecting to finish so soon.
That's totally fine. Like
your makeup looks so good, Rachel.
It was honestly, it was a thing of beauty to watch, and that's part of the reason why I do the stream the way I do is because it gets people in their element, making the things that they want to make, and
I like making a pretty face.
Exactly. So
And,
we've got leather work, we've got compliments, we've got like line art and beautiful things and pencils and yeah. How is that artwork of Rachel coming along? Is that something you're willing to do another preview for, Dan?
Oh no,
or is that a surprise now?
I didn't finish it. I didn't put the swirlies on her cheekbones on. I already stuck it into an envelope and sealed it, waiting for her to give me an address later on.
Okay, well, there we go. See, this is what happens when you're too fast.
That's so cool.
But that's okay. It's actually really cool that you have the opportunity to be an inspiration for somebody live on stream.
I'm inspired by everybody and everything that's within my reach. So I mean,
anything that moves is inspiration. Oh Jesus!
Is exactly it.
Hey man, you are our inspiration. Cosplayers like us wouldn't have anything to go off of without artists like you.
That's true. You should see the damsel I do.
You guys keep us going.
Damsel.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are the reason we want to. You guys are the reason. Artists like you, Dan, are the reason that cosplayers like us are inspired to do what we do. So thank you for creating beautiful things that we want to create. You create such beautiful things that we can't help ourselves but to recreate.
Yeah.
Like this hot woman. I can't wait to be this hot woman.
Yeah. Like speaking of cosplay, Mika
and thank
Rachel,
you for drawing them with working anatomy.
That too. That too.
Yeah, presenting the world with not an MC Escher woman.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Thanks for that too.
Thank you for knowing how to draw feet. Oh wait, was that my outside voice?
Whoa!
Did you just call out Wayne Reynolds?
It took years.
Soft clap.
It took years to draw feet. I want to make sure that I got that right because I was tired of drawing people behind rocks and boxes and things. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for paying attention.
Thank you for giving us that insane amount of detail. And I hope you know that when a cosplayer sees your work, we notice all the detail and we're just compelled to recreate it as accurately as we can because your
Well, I
artwork
think
is
the
so
detail
beautiful.
comes later because you're like sitting there staring at the image for like 5 hours, looking at your Amazon list, just like, do I
No,
have everything?
all I can see is the detail. I just think I think that's what inspires me to keep going with the cosplay because cosplay is not always fun. It sucks
Oh no,
sometimes,
it's
you
cosplay can be
know?
an absolute nightmare, and that's something that I do occasionally for
Sometimes it
fun.
can get
And you keep
creepy.
looking at that artwork and you're like, I just want this artwork to be as real as I can make it. And like, because it's so inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I hope all artists know that. Like, you guys inspire us to dream big, and that's awesome. That's a really cool gift to be able to give someone.
I just try to take
Absolutely.
my disadvantage in GURPS terms
Mm-hmm.
and make it a positive. So my OCD, HD, ADHD, I'll make it work so that way it's a good thing.
Well, shoot,
Wait,
show of
how many
hands. How
people
many
in this
people
chat
in?
have ADHD?
I also have OCD, hardcore.
Oh, Matt. Yep.
See, I don't have the
Honestly,
ADHD. I have the bipolar, and it mirrors you sickos.
Mm.
but
Yeah, that
like,
doesn't help either.
your artwork is still beautiful, and when I look at it, I just want to
Just
recreate it in
lick
real
the
life.
artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may honestly, maybe it's because you're ADHD too. You know, maybe it's because the brain that created this beautiful, complicated piece of art is also ADHD. When I look at it, I
Mm-hmm.
want to do it because it's so
Yeah.
complicated and there's so many pieces, you know? Maybe that's why. I think
Just
that's
another
cool.
way to make the voices. Whoosh.
Well, I'm interested in seeing more of Rachel's artwork. Where can we find your artwork?
Yeah.
Oh, you
So
can
cool.
find it. Okay, so I do actually have a Redbubble store if you look up Super Rat Lord, but it's like really weird art. So the things that I put
That's
on
okay.
Redbubble are like this molten plague doctor that just says you should do cocaine about it. So that's the kind of stuff you're gonna find on my Redbubble, but
Do you have an
Absolutely.
Instagram, Rachel, for your art?
no, I have my Twitter, and that is Super Rat Lord as well. So at Super Rat Lord, all one
Absolutely.
word.
So I want to take the conversation back to cosplay for a second because you do have at least a few cosplayers here specifically. I've done it like occasionally as a very casual thing, and then we have Mika, and then Rachel has done some amazing cosplay work specifically as Damsel and Sasha Vikos from Vampire the Masquerade.
Dude,
Heck
that
yes.
Vicos was the one time I looked at myself and I was like, I do me so hard. Like it
No,
was
you
so
look
good.
so cool, Rachel. You look so cool.
Absolutely,
And then Matt came along and made it great with Pierce, just like
yeah, pretty much.
deceased.
Yeah, so
Like
You
I'm a
just know that Pierce deserves to have his ass beat.
I mean, this is absolutely true. For those of you who
my
are
sadist
unfamiliar,
part came out, just like
yeah, for those of you who are unfamiliar, a signature character that Matt plays is Pierce Cross, who is a sick little cookie, but we love him anyway.
I'm
But
gonna use my F bomb. Monster fuckers, all of you.
well,
yeah,
All of
that's what
you.
I am.
You all
Yeah.
of you. You're all animals.
Lady Dimitrescu, come get this.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what?
I come up to her hip and it's the
disagree with
perfect
Matt.
height.
I really wanted to disagree with Matt until Rachel said Lady Democrat, and I'm like, oh well, you right though.
Oh,
Yeah.
and ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The principle is sound. It was just the specifics that were off with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Rachel hecked it up for me.
Pyramid head, like,
Rachel, stop it.
Daddy
You're supposed to
ruined
be on.
me.
HedgieCleric
You were
after
supposed to
dark.
be on my
I
side.
am thirst embodied here. I
I'm
am.
calling everyone
You're my
out,
fellow
including the
trash
chat.
panda. You're supposed to be on my side, Rachel.
No, I'm calling us out because I'm you're the glitter goblin. I'm the trash goblin.
Oh,
You
you're
hide
right.
that. You hide it under layers of glitter, and I
You're
expose
right.
us.
You had nothing. Well, I guess. Well done then. Well played.
So speaking of cosplay, Mika, what are tell us about some of the cosplays you've done based on like role playing games? Because there's a lot of different media you can pull different cosplays from, and I would love to like hear a little bit more about some of the stuff that you're doing.
Oh, I think my favorite one is the barbarian I've done from Diablo 3.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do, and I got to make like a big giant axe to carry around with me, and that was fun. So yeah, I think that's probably my favorite. I haven't cosplayed as any of my D&D characters, which is weird. I don't know why I haven't done that. I probably
I
should
don't know
do
why
that.
you haven't done that either. You should fix that.
What about that elf you did? No, that wasn't for D&D.
It
That
was just
was
because
for-
it's because I own elf ears. I wanted to wear them. That's it.
I have elf
No,
There was
the
no
as
one,
reason.
well,
the,
so
the
I
Norse
understand.
one.
Okay. That is, you're right, Matt. That is for a thing. I
And
almost knocked things over.
yeah,
I am currently filming a game called Trudvang, which is made by Riot Games. It's a Norse mythology / Celtic mythology themed game, and I'm playing a Korkopli, or I don't know, Korkopi? I don't know how it's pronounced. Nobody's told me.
well,
I
it's not
just have to
Corpiclani
figure
because
it
we already
out.
know that's a band.
I've gone to see them live
It's
so
a
many
wild
times.
elf. It's a Nordic wild elf.
Okay.
Korkopi? I can't remember how it's spelled.
Korkopi.
Korkopi. I think you're right.
Yeah,
But
it's
also,
a Finnish word.
no one knows how to tell me how that's pronounced. So that's what I play. But it's a game called Trudvang. It's based on Norse and Celtic mythology. I play a wild elf named Sasa, and we have a bunch of other really amazing characters. I love the group I play with. I think they're all really adorable. We have a little dwarfy boy named Hammond, who is the cutest being in the world. Like, my favorite scene probably so far in this game is when Hammond, our baby dwarfy boy, was laying in a bed and he was like a turtle and he got stuck. We had to like roll him over so he could get
no.
out of his bed. It was the cutest shit. Like, he's just so cute.
I have had
yeah, we
moments
have a
like
lot of-
that too. Like,
honestly, same. We have a lot of really cute characters, so that's what I'm working on now.
so we're
I'm
By
not
the way,
working on
the
any
rule book for
cosplay
that
right
game
now.
is gorgeous. Y'all should look at it.
I absolutely will
Honestly,
have
we
to
should
do
do
that.
a one shot with that.
Mhm.
We should.
I mean, you let me know
Honestly, I'm
when.
gonna
I'll
do
be
it.
more than happy to host.
You know, I'd love to do a one shot of Goblins Grab My Dice with everyone in this chat because
You know, I think we can actually make that happen at some point, though. It looks like Dan
would
wandered
love that
off.
so
Hopefully he'll be
much.
back soon.
ADD brain.
But I
Yes,
do
please.
hope that we can get everybody else together on the call. I will happily run this game so Matt can play. Because
I'll tell you what, we'll do a one shot on my channel and a one shot on your channel.
sounds good. We'll work out the
That sounds like a
the
deal.
scheduling. We'll work out the scheduling off stream. But and I know this is probably like a weird time to ask it, but we're getting close to we're getting close to the end of our program. But if you have it available, why don't you show us some of your favorite dice?
I'm not at home right now,
Oh
so I can't.
no!
But I have so many.
I
But I
mean,
can't show
I'd
you,
have
I'm not at
to go get them, but I
That's
can show
okay.
you my
Take your time.
favorite.
That's absolutely fine because
Matt,
I
you're in your
figure
workshop. Can you show your favorite dice?
Mine are in a completely different place, and
Thought
I
so.
am in the zone, and I want to get
Okay, that's
the
fair.
mock done for y'all before
I
the
understand.
stream
Rachel,
ends.
Alright.
Go
will
grab
be-
your favorite dice, and I'll describe my favorite dice.
that's absolutely fair. And I'm hoping
My
Dan
favorite
will come
dice-
back so we can actually
Absolutely.
see
I
his
have
favorite dice
two
too.
favorite sets of dice. My first favorite set of dice are rainbow colored, and they say the F-bomb when you roll a 1. And I like
Those are the
that.
best.
And then my second favorite set of dice are bronze metal dice, and when you roll a 20, they say eat.
I've
makes me
seen
laugh.
those actually, and I've been meaning to get one of those. Let me actually go ahead and head over
What
here.
about you, Renee?
Mine are just on the other side of the room. Let me
Go
take these
get 'em,
off
pretty
real quick and
girl.
go get.
I'll entertain your chat with my mad dance
And
moves.
hopefully not get choked by my own headphone cord.
Matt,
Hi,
are you
Dan.
entertained?
Welcome back.
Hi, I'm sorry. Real life has
Hi,
has shoved its pry bar into me, so I'm gonna have to
Oh no.
step away.
Wait, are you okay?
Is
No,
everything
I'm
okay?
good. No, I just so
Okay.
many things. There are so many things going on behind me that
Oh, okay.
That's pulling me away. So
Oh, okay. Well, we're almost done here.
I
okay.
thought you
I
said
am
that somebody
actually
shoved
about.
a pry bar into you, and I was concerned.
No, no, no.
Oh no.
Oh, good, great, wonderful.
All right. I will give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my
Yeah, go
D20
for
O
it.
dice, which is directly behind me. 1 sec.
Do it.
Hold on. I might need to steal data.
Stay.
What are
I
you
need the cat.
doing? What is that sound?
Bring me the cat. Okay.
Who's that coming?
Ugh. So if I had been smart, I would have actually put these specifically within arm's reach as opposed to like a decorative piece in my background. But I have. This is actually my favorite.
Oh my gosh, yes!
It is a leather D20 specifically made by Case Poisol. They're based in the LA area. I actually got this at LA by Night, which is a Vampire the Masquerade event back in like 2013. And the best part is, the reason why it's my favorite is because it holds all of my other dice.
Okay. These are my favorite dice. And these are not actually my dice, they are Daedalus's dice. So D&D, Daedalus's dice.
So who is Daedalus?
Daedalus is my lumpy cat.
I love him so much! He's a good boy!
Such an adorable good boy.
Please give him smooches on his head.
No, I keep
Thank
my
you.
dice in
He
there.
might be
Oh,
too
hey, that's a
tired.
great place
What
to
is
keep your
that,
dice.
David? That's so cool. What is that? What are you holding?
It's a skull, which has got dice inside of it.
Are you kidding me?
Yay.
Oh,
That's
I
beautiful.
love my
Is that
Love
a
it.
glass?
yeah, glass. And this isn't all my dice. This is just what's left over because I have dice all around the house
Of course, as a proper gamer does.
to keep goblins from stealing all of my dice at one shot.
Yeah,
It's
so
important.
this is a dice goblin. So the
There you
reason
go.
he has a bag of dice is because of this. So I'm going to take one of him's dice and let me see if I can get a shot of him doing it.
Wait. Your cat
And there
chases
he
dice.
goes. Yes.
Yes, and that's
That
why
is
I
so
have to have a die bag specifically for him.
Yay,
Really
more
cute.
followers.
So cute.
But yes, Daedalus has become in some ways a bit of an unofficial mascot of the group of friends that we've come into, just because he does kind of look like a plucked turkey, as Girly Cakes has put out, but he's also adorable and sweet. And
of course, he's named after Jeffrey Kober's character in Kindred the Embraced. He is named after a Nosferatu provision, and he chases D10s. Gorgeous.
There you go.
well, that's on brand now, isn't it?
Life imitates art.
But uh-oh. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love it.
That's
It
so
looks
sexy.
good. It's super good.
That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
You
Good work, buddy.
do amazing work. And I'm gonna move my
Beautiful.
gob cam so my boobs are not directly in the shot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my boobs being directly in the shot, but I don't want my boobs dominating the shot. But yes, that
Suddenly
does
tits.
look amazing.
Your boobs dominate whenever you want them to.
Yes,
It's
but now
upbeat.
it's not one of those times.
Okay. You must wield your power responsibly.
Yes.
With great
Speaking,
boobage comes great responsibility.
yes, I've been asked if I'm going to ever be doing a Lady Dimitrescu cosplay, and I'm like, no, that is just far too much power for me to have in one sitting.
Whoa. Do not tempt me with dark tools I should not wield.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
because
exactly how
basically
I
my
feel
Texas
about it.
trip would come a little bit sooner, and I'd just be like, yes, please, Renee. Step on me.
There's so many jokes, and I will not make them on this stream.
Well, fortunately,
You can make them to me after.
I was about to say, fortunately, the stream is actually winding down to its conclusion. So I do want to thank you all for being on here with me and chatting with me, talking about Goblins Grab My Dice, which is available on DriveThruRPG right now. And oh my god, that's gorgeous. Thank you, Matt.
That's so cool.
And I seriously, I want to thank every single one of you for being on here with me and talking with me. And this has been an absolute delight. I'm gonna go around real quick where you can tell people where they can find you on the internet and projects you want to promote right now. So this is absolutely your time for shameless plugs. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Dan on this one.
I have a Patreon, Smith Inc. I'm on DeviantArt, Smith Inc. I'm on Facebook, Dan Smith, and there's 1,000 of them, but mine has the good art on it.
Ooh.
I mean, not
Trust me,
wrong.
Hey.
Not
every
wrong.
Dan Smith,
Well
every Dan
done.
Smith is an artist. Every Dan Smith is an artist. I've seen thousands of them, and it's scary. So, anyways, but that's where you can find me, or in any of Matt's books. He's been hammering on me and to get
Mhm.
stuff done for him, and so look at Matt's stuff. The place to find
Yep.
me.
I will say for a fact, when I was looking specifically for social media accounts specifically to promote this stream, I was like Googling Dan Smith. I'm like, this is a fool's errand. I should just ask. Just because of that. I mean,
Yes.
it really was.
Yeah.
All right. Rachel, where can people find you on the internet and what kind of stuff should we look for you for in the future?
I do a ton of RPG stuff. Right now, we've got something out with Simulacra Studios. We just did the season finale of Blood Covenant. So that's really good. Yeah. So if you don't listen to that, then why aren't you? You can find me sometimes playing with Gehenna Gaming, and you can find me everywhere on the internet as Super Rat Lord. And you can even find my Redbubble if you truly want something, but it's really weird. You're going to find Danny DeVito on the half shell.
Well, at least you don't have chlamydia.
Ah, no, he found it. Ah!
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the rule of the coyote. It's a family thing. Like, you know how you meet up with friends that you've had from high school, and generally they're doing a lot better than you, and they start listing off, yeah, I got married, I've had kids, and you're just sitting there, well, at least I don't have chlamydia.
Yeah, I have a story about that I'm willing to tell off stream.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's not a fun story, unfortunately.
Oh.
Most chlamydia stories are not fun stories. So
Yeah. Mika, where can we find you on the internet so we can stop talking about chlamydia?
So that we can stop
T-shirt,
talking about
T-shirt.
chlamydia.
that's the rate phrase.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter. I did not mean to say titter.
Hold on. There we go for the fans at home. Titter.
All at Ginger Mika. Same thing. Everywhere. I only have one name. I couldn't come up with another. So that's it. Okay, bye.
And Matt, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Matt Stormcrow.
You have it written
if I'm
down.
clever like that.
What the fuck, man?
I use this when I take photographs of my leatherwork.
Oh,
So
How
it's
dare
in
you show
there.
us up like this? You didn't have it written.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna mark down that extra F-bomb.
Oh, it was me, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, God.
That's okay.
And since I haven't done it yet,
Mika, don't feel bad.
But is owning the F bombs, and I'm not. I'm usually a
the worst.
sailor.
No, I'm the worst.
Well,
I'm
that's
the
the
worst.
thing.
I haven't
Usually
used
it's
mine
me,
yet.
so I'm kind of glad it's not me this stream. So Matt,
I'm
so
so
Matt
sorry,
Storm on the
Renee.
internet.
I'm so sorry.
Don't
So
I will
again,
try to
guys,
find you
Goblins,
guys.
grab my dice. It is on Drive Through RPG. You should be able to find it by searching it. We're up to 110 downloads now.
Considering we're up to
And
what 100 before the stream started.
yeah, so it's been out since what, Wednesday? No, Thursday. It's been out since Thursday. So, and it's like the first like full RPG, quote unquote, that I've ever put out, and you can do that. I also run the Night in Question, which is the big official Sabbat Vampire the Masquerade LARP, and it is thanks to the lovely efforts of science and reason, it's actually going to happen this year. And it's happening September 11th and 10th. So
Yes.
come on by and give it a look.
I will be there. I know Rachel will be there. And I'm sure we will have others there as well who are just as awesome.
Well, I will absolutely be there.
Yes.
I went to one LARP. Here's the joke that's big on me. My first LARP was in 2019, and I was like, I'm gonna do this so many more times.
And then the pandemic hit because that's how
And then
this rolls.
the panini hit,
Yeah.
The panini.
and we were in a Patricia for a long time, and I was like, oh, I guess we won't do a lot of LARPs this year.
According to most people, made two mistakes. One is doing that. The second one is going to your first LARP and having it be the night in question, and you're just going to be disappointed from now on out.
I can see
I'm
how a lot
so
of
much
people
that
would be
was like,
ruined
I'm
by
gonna do
LARP by having the night
12
question as the
million
first LARP.
more than this year.
Good job,
Narrator,
Nicholas.
she was
That
not.
sounded like a dice crash.
Yeah,
Did you
that
just
was.
drop a bunch of stuff?
No, the
Oh.
cat found his dice bag and pulled it off of the desk that I had it
Of
sitting
course
on
he did.
because he's an actual goblin, a goblin for dice.
And finally, last but not least, I am HedgieCleric. I am all over the internet as HedgieCleric. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Coffee. And this is Chompu the Goblin, our special guest, manning the Gobcam. And we are about to say goodnight. But before we do, let's see who we should raid. Oh, look, Gehenna Gaming's up.
Yeah.
Let's go raid them.
Yes!
What's the raid phrase? What's the raid phrase? I propose, can we stop talking about chlamydia? But I feel like I'm going to be overruled.
Thank you very much. Somebody sent the wrong vibe about this stream.
That would definitely send the wrong vibe about this stream. How about Gobos?
Gobos is good. Perfect.
Give us your die, or give us your
Sweet
dice.
Innocent doesn't mention chlamydia.
Yeah.
All
give us
great
click
things.
clacks. Give
us click clacks. There we go.
Yeah.
Give us click clacks.
There you go.
Right.
Also same.
All right.
There you go.
So we're gonna go ahead and raid. Gehenna Gaming. If my keyboard will work with me here.
My sweet fart.
All right, and away we go. And thank you so much for joining us, everyone. You have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Be well. Mwah.
Love you bunches.
Bye.
Bye.